Okay, so we've decided to record the Sun Salutation Sequence from the introductory course, just to give you a little bit of backup from the material from the course. So the central posture here is the chair position. So we spent a little bit of time establishing the chair. What we're looking for here is that the knees stay the same width as the hips. And another thing to be observant of is that there's a tendency for people to pop out in the solar plexus area in this position. So if you get people to just push their forearms or their wrists into the swing material and pull the back of the body into the swing material as well, this should help the spine to drop and get more length in the spine from the crown down into the tailbone. And so this is your chair position. From here you're going to transition into mountain. So straighten the legs, straighten the arms. That's it, that's your inhalation. Exhalation, coming back down into chair position, dropping the sit bones, pressing into the feet. And then again, inhaling back into mountain, stretching into the fingertips. Exhale down into chair. And just continue with this, moving from the feet, pushing into the feet, breathing up through the body into the hands. Exhale down into chair, dropping the sit bones down towards the floor. Continuing to do this for however many repetitions you want to have in your class. Just a little nod on your drishti, on your gaze. So as you go back into this, turn the eyes so you're looking up between the hands, but don't drop the head back. Yeah? As you come forwards, the gaze is straight ahead. As you go back, the gaze is up towards the ceiling without dropping the head back. Yeah? That's it. So once you've done your required repetitions of this, you're going to come back and hold it for 5 breaths. That's it. Hold in the position, pressing into the ball of the big toe, engaging the thighs, the center. Maybe a tiny little bend in the elbows to help the top of the back relax. Gazes up towards the ceiling. Lean back into the swing. Now you're going to bend your knees and return to the chair position. From the chair position, step back 1 foot length on each side. That's it, 1 foot length. Pull yourself up to standing. Keep the arms around the swing and transition into a forward fold. So the swing should gather on the inside of your elbows. And then just transfer the weight backwards and forwards very gently. So bring the weight into the toes and then back into the heels. Into the toes, back into the heels. And then try and find the center, roughly the center of your feet to balance over. That's your balance point. Bring the elbows tight to the side of the body and extend through the thoracic spine and through the chest area. Gaze should be straight down on the floor. And we're not really going for depth at this point in the sequence. We're mainly going for alignment. So trying to stay over the center of both of your feet and extending into your chest. That's the goal of this posture. Now from here, we're going to inhale and come back up to standing and return to the chair position. So returning to chair, you might find you need to walk your feet back forwards a foot length. That's it. And then as we inhale, we're going to push back, arms up over the head again, like mountain posture, but now we're going to go to the right side into a side stretch. That's it. Inhaling back to the center, exhaling over to your left side into a side stretch. Inhaling center, exhaling side. Inhaling center, exhaling side. Continuing to do this as many repetitions as you require in your class or in your home practice. As you do this, try and get the hips moving as well. See if you can get some movement from the hips as you go to the side, and try not to lift the feet. Try not to lift the feet off the floor. Again, a little micro bend in the elbows might help you to relax the upper back. Right, so now come back to the center, drop yourself back down into chair, rest the arms against the swing, drop the sit bones down into chair position to give the arms a little rest. Inhale, push back. Take the arms over to the right side, hold the position for 5 breaths. Push strongly into the outside of your left foot. without lifting the inside. Let the hips move out to your left. Let the shoulder blades pull back into the swing, and then see if you can just drop the top of the shoulders a little bit. That's it. The gaze should be up towards the ceiling without dropping the head back. And then we come back to the center. We drop ourselves down into chair one more time, resting the arms. And then we go back. We push back, inhaling back, exhaling over to your left side. Hips go out to the right. Leaning back into the swing, micro-bending the elbows, lifting the gaze towards the ceiling and leaning back, really enjoying the support of the swing, leaning back into the swing. Then back to the center, back down into chair position, dropping it down into chair. We're going to step back 1 foot length on each side. That's it. Pull ourselves up to standing. Keeping a narrow stance, we're going to swan dive forwards into Uttanasana. Yeah, so standing forward fold. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is get the length. So we remember the length from the last time we were here. The body remembers the length. So coming into that position, and we're going to turn it into a twist towards your right side. So drop your left hand down to the floor, underneath your face. Reach up with your right hand, grab hold of the swing material, begin to open the chest to your right side. Yeah? You may want to take your left hand over to your right leg to help you twist a bit more. And then with the face, I would either look down or turn the head slightly to your left side. That's it. And then you're pulling with the top arm and you're pulling with the bottom hand as well. This helps to bring you into more of a twist. If this is too much for you, you should keep your left hand on the floor or facing straight down. You shouldn't really be losing quality in your breathing by twisting too much, using too much force. Now you're going to slowly half come back up so you can change arms. So you're lifting halfway up, swapping the arms, and then exhaling forwards, bringing the right hand to the floor this time. Raising the left arm up, beginning to twist to your left side, choosing the same option with your arms as you did on the other side, and then looking straight down or slightly away to your right side. So try to push outwards into the outside edges of the feet. If you have a tendency to collapse inwards, try and push into the outside edge, the little toe side of your feet, as you pull with both of your arms. And then on the next inhalation, we're going to come all the way up nice and slowly. So we're going to come up, arms go through, we come back into chair position. So we step the feet forwards. We're going to transition now between chair and a back bend. So as we inhale, push back, keep holding the swing, drop the shoulders and chest further back into a back bend. Exhale, come forwards into chair, resting the arms against the swing. That's it. Inhaling back into a back bend. Exhaling down into your chair. Inhaling back bend. Exhaling chair. So just to give you a few options here as you go through this, the rhythm of your own breathing. Another option you might try is letting go completely, lining the head up with the arms. That's a deeper back bend. And then exhaling down into chair. For a lot of people that might be uncomfortable, so you would keep holding the swing. That's like a milder version. Sometimes people might struggle with a difficulty or discomfort in the neck, so another version you might do is to interlace your hands behind your head and support some of the weight of the head, like that. And then back down into chair. So you have a few different options. We'll do one more back bend, so whichever version you want to do, those back bends. And then we come down into chair. We're going to drop the hips right down, come and get some extension in your lumbar spine. Then we're going to come into whatever version of back bend you are most comfortable with. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths. So push into a back bend, either holding the swing, supporting the head, or arms by the side of your head. Push strongly into the feet, strongly grounding down into the feet, breathing deeply. Remember, if you're struggling to breathe, you've been too intense. Now we're going to pull ourselves back up. From there, we're going to drop ourselves down into chair position. Step back, 1 foot length on each side. Pull ourselves up to standing. We're going to go into a wide forward bend now. So we step it out as wide as you are comfortable. The legs remain straight. Swan dive forwards. That's it. Swan dive forwards. The swing is supporting the inside of your elbows. Let's just do that little bit of rocking back and forth to find the center of your feet. So we're looking for the center of both of your feet. Now once we've found that, push into the outside edge of your feet, and if you want to bring the chest a little bit lower to the floor, you can try straightening the arms or grabbing hold of the swing with the hands so you can bring the chest a little bit lower, only if you want to. It's just an option. Yeah. And we're going to stay in the position, shoulders away from the ears, gaze down towards the floor, pushing strongly into the outside of the feet. And we're going to exit now, so we pull ourselves back up with an inhalation, get the swing behind you, take hold of the swing, jump the feet back into the chair position. And then from here we're going to push back again. So we're going to push back into mountain, place the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers, and now we're going to take the elbows over to the left side. That's it, over to the left side. Inhale, center, and then back over to the right side. Inhale, center, exhale, left, inhale, center, exhale, right. You continue to do this a few more times at your own breathing pace. Just a little tip, try imagining you're pulling the fingers apart without it actually happening. And you might find that opens the shoulders and elbows a bit wider. Now we're going to come down into chair, so we rest the arms against the swing. We're going to push back, and we're going to take the elbows over to the left side and hold it there. Over to your left, hold the position for 5 breaths. So strongly push into the right foot. Let the hips move out to the right side. Pull the rib cage back into the swing and gently pull the fingers apart to widen the shoulders. Now come back into the center. Exhale, bend your knees, drop yourself down into chair. Inhale, pushing back. Arms go behind the head again. Come over to your right side this time. That's it, stretching the left side of the body. Let the hips move out to your left. Keep the feet grounded. Pull the fingers apart. Turn the gaze up towards the ceiling. And we're going to release it. We're going to come back to the center, down into chair position. We take a step back, 1 foot length. We go wide with the legs. Pull ourselves up, go wide with the legs. We swan dive forwards again. Swan dive forwards. Okay, now we're going to turn this position into a twist. So we're going to bring the left hand down to the floor. We're going to reach up with the right hand, take hold of the swing, and I would just stay looking down towards your left hand for a little while. Once you've loosened up into it, you can take hold of the outside edge of the right leg. But if that feels too intense, if it stops you breathing, and then I would keep the right hand on the floor and I would just look down at the right hand. Now with the next inhalation you're going to come up, about halfway up, swap the arms over. That's it, bring the right hand to the floor and reach up with the left hand. Now just keep looking straight down at the right hand. That's it. So you've already getting the rotation in your spine at this point. If you feel like you need more, or you can go for more, then you can take that hand out to the outside of the left leg. That's it. And then you can pull a little bit with that right hand against your left leg. But again, if you've stopped breathing, or if you find that your chest is now tracking over to your left leg, so you've lost the center of the posture, then you need to come back. So your torso stays in the center, it doesn't go over to your left side. And then you're going to come back, release the hand, bring yourself back up with an inhalation, arms are through, jump back into your chair position. That's it. And then from your chair position, we're going to just push back into mountain a few times to help stretch the spine. That's it. So we're going to inhale up, exhale down into mountain 4 or 5 times. And then we're going to get into the groin, or the adductors and the groin muscles. So we're going to walk back 1 foot length again. Go for a nice wide posture. Turn the toes outwards this time and come into a squat. So at this point, check that your knees are not rolling in. So if they're rolling in, you're going a little bit too wide, you need to narrow your base, so that they're not rolling in. Once you've got the right base for yourself, then you can begin to transfer the weight from side to side. So you straighten your left leg, and then you straighten your right, bend your left. So you go side to side. Or for some of you, you might want to begin to lean forwards a little bit. So you could lean forwards and intensify it. Or you might even lift up the toes of the straight leg like that. And you might want to stay there and just enjoy the stretch. So always different options for different body types. These are not better or worse. These are just different options. It's like a menu. Think of it like a menu. So side to side, into the groin. And then we're going to come all the way back up from there. So we reach up, take hold of the swing. Jump yourself back into the center, into your chair position. And then from here, we're going to do some circling. So we're going to circle the body around. Little circles. Just notice the feet stay down. So as much as possible, keep the feet grounded on the floor and do this little circular motion that helps to relax the hips, the knees, the lower back. Let the hips really drop as well. That's it. So we do a few rotations like that. And then we're going to change directions and do a few rotations in the opposite direction. And then we're going to pause in the chair position. So where we started, let's drop the sit bones. Press the wrists against the swing. Let the lower back drop and extend the lumbar spine. Make sure the knees are not rocking. Now from our base position, we're going to start to work more on the legs, going through some hip openers and some lunges. So we're going to start by putting the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Take the ankle as high as you are comfortable with. So if you've got quite open hips, you might want to bring the ankle a little bit closer to your hips from here. If you're a bit tighter, have the foot further forwards like Agni. And then from here, push backwards and forwards. So begin to straighten the front leg, and then bend, and then straighten. So we use this rocking motion to help to open, in this case, the right hip. Then we're going to change legs, so we drop the right leg down and we lift the left ankle on top of the right thigh. And we do the same thing, we use the rocking motion to help to release our left hip. Okay, now we're going to come into eagle posture. So for this, release both feet to the floor, but bring them together in the center, so slightly closer than hip width. And then take the right thigh over the top of the left, squeeze the thighs together really tightly, and let the sit bones and the hips drop as much as you can. So you feel an opening around your lower back, your hips area, and you're squeezing the thighs together really strongly. Now, in classical eagle, people try and get their toes behind their ankle, but often that means you're just twisting the ankles and losing your alignment. So I wouldn't bother with that. I would just squeeze your thighs as tightly together as you can, so you can feel where they touch, squeezing the thighs, and then swap over, swap legs. Again, squeezing the thighs, letting the sit bones drop, the lower back extend. Pushing the forearms slightly into the swing material as well will help you to elongate your spine. Okay, now let's reach up and grab hold of the swing with the hands. We're going to take the right leg behind us now into like a mild lunging position. Rise up, both legs are straight. And it's like a walking pace between your feet, so not too wide, like a walking pace. Begin to come into a forward bend now over your left thigh. So the swing is going to catch the inside of your elbows. You're going to extend forwards through your chest. You're going to ground down into your right heel to help with that extension. So pushing back into the right heel and trying to stay over the center of the left foot. So you know your hips are square if you can stay over the center of your feet. Now to change directions, we're just going to start turning towards the right side. So turn towards the right side until you are facing in the opposite direction, and you're now going to do the same position, the same stretch over the right leg. So reaching forwards again into the chest, finding the center of the feet. Using the support of the swing to help to stabilize you, but also to help you keep you a bit more relaxed in the posture. Okay, now as you inhale, begin to turn to your left and face forwards again. Go a little bit wider with the legs and bring the right knee to the floor. That's it. Now, I would let the swing come up over the top of the head and reach as high as you can with your hands. So you're using your hands now to extend through the side of your body. And I would walk the front foot further forwards, letting the hips drop down until you feel a more kind of satisfying opening of the chest and the side body. Maybe lifting the chin a little bit away from the chest, pulling with the arms, and pressing with the feet. Now to change direction, just be careful with the back knee. Tuck your back toes under, lift your knee up and turn to face the back of the room. So you're now going to come over your right leg. That's it. And the same thing, use the arms to keep length in the side body. Press down into the floor with the feet to control, stabilize your base. And breathe. Breathe as deeply as you can. Now tucking the back toes underneath again, lifting the back knee off the floor, turning to face the front. Yeah, we're going to drop down onto the right knee again. And so this time we're going to bring the swing completely over the head. And we're going to begin to twist towards the left side, so towards your front leg. Begin to twist your chest towards your left side. That's it. Okay, so you're twisting here. One option is a little bit stronger and more difficult to control, but you could maybe try this, is to tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee off the floor. That's it. So you really need to have very strong action in the back leg muscles, the right leg muscles. Try not to let the left knee roll in when you're doing this. And use the swing, pull with the hands. That will help you to stabilize and also to twist. Good, and now release the posture, turn in the opposite direction. So now I would tend to set it up with the back knee down, so your left knee is on the floor. Begin to twist. Have a little check that your right knee isn't rolling inwards, so you might have to walk the right foot a little bit wider. Yeah. And then if you want, you can do the sort of the high lunge version of this. So you can lift the left knee off the floor if you wish, or you can keep it down if you feel that's a better option for you. Pull with the hands to stabilize. Perfect. Now turn back to face the front. We're going to finish the lunge section with a high lunge. So we're facing over the left leg. We're going to keep the right leg straight and the right knee off the floor. Bend the left knee and then find a comfortable position for your arms. So it might be straight ahead, or it might be a slight bend. It might feel better for your shoulders if you slightly bend your elbows and come down into your chest. Now keep pressing back into that right heel. And then on your next inhalation, turn. So just turn to your right side and you're doing the posture facing over your right leg now. Focus on keeping that back leg, your left leg nice and strong, stretching all the way down through into your Achilles heel, squeezing your thigh muscles. And again, pulling with the arms for stability and just for that extra little bit of tweak of the posture, strength of the posture. We're going to turn back to face the front. We're going to keep the swing in front of us now and transition into downward facing dog. So we have the swing off the belly, top of the thighs we're looking for, just underneath the hip bones. And we might have to lift up onto the tiptoes and begin to fold forwards over the swing, keeping the swing on the top of the thighs, or it's very uncomfortable. If it's against your belly, you might have to lower it a little notch, maybe just a half, to get it to the right height for you. And then here you are in downward facing dog. Pressing the palms into the floor, allowing the swing to pull the hips back. And slowly walk the feet towards the hands and begin to roll yourself up to a standing position from there. So now we're going to use the handles in the next section. We just got our handles over there to the left. So when you're putting your handles on, you can see our swing's a little bit uneven in the video. Put the handles level with the top side of the swing. So level with the top side of the swing if your swing happens to be uneven. Right, now we're going to come around to the front of the swing. We're going to use the handles to do a series of twist and side stretches. So take the middle handles and then take a walking pace towards your left side. So left foot turns out, right foot turns around as well. Your chest is facing to the left side and you're going to lean the chest forwards and rest your head against your right arm like this. And slightly twist if you can. Twist the chest towards your left. And your left arm just goes into a position that is comfortable for you. So it might be straight, it might be bent. It's not really doing a lot, your left arm, it's quite passive. But your right arm is pulling. So you're pulling with the right arm, resting the head, and using this to get a spiral in your spine as you turn your twist to the side. You can go a little bit wider in your stance. You know, if you find it a bit more satisfying to be a bit lower down, you could widen your stance. And then we're going to come up from here and we're going to change direction. So we're inhaling up, turning to face over your right side. That's it, resting the head against the left arm, turning towards the right side and choosing a stance that works for you. Now both heels should stay down, but you could potentially go a little bit wider with your base. That would allow you to twist a little bit more, as you can see. Okay, and from here we're going to release this posture, so we come back to face the front. We're going to take hold of your long strap on your left side. We're going to step out into Trikonasana, so big step out on the left side. Right toes slightly turned in or facing forwards. Yeah, I want you to first of all reach out with the left hand straight ahead of you, trying to bring the hand to about shoulder height. Yeah, so straight in front of your shoulder. And then with your right hand, just reach up to around about 12 o'clock on a clock face. Yeah, so you're doing your Trikonasana. That's it. And remember, you're trying to keep the body side on. So if you find, for example, that you're rolling to the inside of your right foot, that's because your right hip is rolling forwards. Yeah, so you might want to bring the chest a bit higher if that's happening for you. Yeah. That's good. So as you inhale, we're going to come up from there and we're going to slowly transition to do that on the other side. Take the long strap with the right hand. Reach out over your right leg, and then reach up with the left hand. Grab handle, grab swing. Doesn't really matter what you grab. It should feel comfortable for your wrists, and you should be able to pull. So the pulling with the left arm really helps to open the chest and the back body. Now as we inhale, we're going to come back up. We're going to do Revolved Triangle. So I would narrow your stance slightly, a few inches. Turn so you're facing the left side again. So you're beginning with the chest facing forwards. Take the long strap from behind you and reach forward. Sorry, in front of you. Take the long strap from in front of you with your right hand and reach straight ahead with the right hand. Yeah? Then reach up with the left hand. Grab hold of swing or strap, and you've got the revolved triangle, and you've got the twist in your spine. One thing to watch out for here is leaning over to your left. So if you start to lean the hips to the left, you'll feel more weight in the outside of your left foot. So you need to just bring the hips back to the right, to the center. And then we're going to come back up, inhale, turn on the heels until we're facing the opposite direction. Take hold of that front long strap, reach forwards with the left hand and then up with the right hand. There you go, Revolved Triangle. That's it, so you're pulling with the hands and you're listening to the feet, you're present, you're aware of the feet, and they will tell you a lot about your alignment. They'll tell you whether you're leaning to your right in this case. So pulling with the hands, listening to the feet, breathing. And releasing. So we're going to come back up, and the final one of this part of the sequence, again we're facing forwards for this one rather than the side. Take a big step out with your left foot, as wide as possible. We want to bend the left knee, bring the left knee over the ankle or maybe slightly behind the ankle. Yeah? Now we're going to use the long strap on the left side to reach out with the left hand. Yeah? Reach out and then turn and grab hold of the same strap with your right hand. So again, as much as possible, keeping this body, this position side on, shoulders and hips in line. That's really good, and you can really use the long strap here to help to elongate and lengthen through the side of the body. Now push into both of the feet to come back up to standing. Turn in the opposite direction, grabbing the long strap. That's it. Bend your right knee. Just check the knee's not rolling in. And then take hold of that strap. Uttanasana, extended side stretch. And then inhale, coming back to standing. We're going to leave the straps now, step behind the swing. We're going to use the body of the swing, or the belly of the swing. We're going to put the whole of the lower arm, so the wrist joint and the elbow joint, very important, elbow joint inside the swing. But we're going to keep the head outside of the swing so you can breathe freely. Yeah, the head is in line with the arms. The arms are extended forwards. Wide base with the legs. We're going to just rock ourselves backwards and forwards, using this movement to open the chest and the shoulders. That's it. So we're going to rock ourselves backwards and forwards a few times. Another option for this is to choose a narrower base, so to bring the legs a bit closer together. And then you can probably find that you can lean a little bit further forwards, possibly even lifting the heels. Yeah. Obviously, checking in with yourself that that's not painful, it's not hurting you. But you might find that it's more satisfying for you. Now for the next part, all we do from here is we bend the elbows, point the fingertips up. So the fingers, our hands are now in like a prayer position, and we can do the same movements. We can lean ourselves backwards and forwards, maybe even throw a little bit of side to side, a bit of freestyling into this. Anything that feels like it's opening the chest, the breathing, the side body. Yeah? Then we can lift ourselves up from there and walk around to the front of the swing. We're going to put the swing on like a jacket again. So we put our arms through the swing, let it gather on the inside of the elbows, and we're going to lean forwards into chicken wings. So lean forwards, that's it. And then I would begin to transfer the weight into the toes a bit more. So I would actually step forwards a little bit. And then from here, begin to lean the weight forwards very carefully. This is going to retract the shoulders, open the chest. So begin by just doing a few small movements backwards and forwards. See how that feels for you. Yeah. Don't just drop into it. It's very important that you're using the core muscles to control the movement. You're not just kind of dropping like a sort of rag doll. Yeah, so the movement's quite slow. Once you kind of know your range of motion, once you've done this a few times, you might find it satisfying to just hold the forward position. Let's hold the forward position. Lots of people find this quite satisfying because, you know, we round a lot in our daily life, so it's nice to open the top of the pecs here, the chest area. And again, you can throw in a little bit of this rocking and freestyle movement, make the most of the range of motion the swing gives you. And then from here we're going to come back down. From there we're going to do an inversion now. So we bring ourselves into a seated position. Give the swing a little shake out. Take a seat. So when you're doing your inversions, once you build up your capacity with the aerial swing, you might want to do inversions and backbends all in the same part of the sequence. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to break them up, and we're going to do inversions first. So we're going to take hold of the swing, narrow the swing material, and wrap the legs around. As we go back, wrap the legs around. We're going to then adjust the swing, push the swing more onto the hip bones, and just let ourselves hang down with very passive arms. So we're not doing anything with the arms, we're not walking forwards, we're just hanging straight down. You can see that Agni's turned onto the back of her hands there. That allows the trapezius and the upper back muscles to relax a bit more. Consciously relaxing the jaw, allowing the lips to open, the eyes, the forehead, all those facial muscles to relax. So we're going to hold it for a couple of minutes. You are very welcome to return and have a rest at any point. If it feels like it's too long for you today, then you should just come up and take a rest. But we're going to, just for your information, we're going to hold it for a couple of minutes in this recorded sequence. Now, to emerge from this, we're going to first of all reach up, grab hold of some swing, pull yourself into a crunch position, like a sit-up, like this, and then release the legs and let the body come all the way up and through. That's it. Pull the swing down so that it's just behind the knees and come forwards. With the arms wrapped around the swing, there's no danger you're going to fall out of the swing because the arms are going to keep you safely in position. And now we're going to just demonstrate a simple back bend you could do. Yeah. Now, like I said before, if you're doing your home practice, you might do an inversion or a back bend, or you might decide to do them both, you know. It's just to refresh your memory of what we did on the course. Wrap your legs around. Wrapping your legs around, adjusting the swing to a comfortable level, dropping down, that's it. And what we're going to do, simply drop the right leg forwards. So right leg unhooks, drops straight ahead of you, that's it. And you might, there are lots of options here. One is to keep the leg extended like this, so that's less intense as a back bend. Another one is to wave the leg from side to side. I quite like this to access your belly and your chest and your hip flexors. And if you've got the mobility in your spine, you might enjoy bending the knee and taking hold of the ankle with either of your hands or even with both of your hands and just deepening the back bend. Engaging the inner thigh muscles when you do that so your knees don't fall out to the side. So we've got the one leg and then we'll wrap the other leg around and just go through that same sequence with the other leg. So dropping it forwards. Little wave. Then a little bend and a hold, taking hold. Definitely not for every back, this position, so you might want to start with the leg extended and see how your body goes with that. Again, the ultimate guide is not me and it's not what you think, it's your breathing. If you're doing this and you're not breathing, that is not the point. Yeah. So you really want to listen to your breath, the quality of your breath. Release that leg, wrap that leg around, do a little crunch, crunching up, hold, and then releasing the legs forwards. Pull the swing down your thighs and bring yourself through to the rest position, arms around the swing. Take a half a dozen breaths there. We're going to do a secondary resting position here, so we're going to use these bottom handles. We'll put them halfway down the feet. That's it. So below the ball of the big toe. So then the ball of the big toe can act like a brake to stop the strap flying off. They look slightly uneven, but we'll work with them as they are. So we won't worry about that. Now, first thing we do, grab hold of the straps, pull back. Pulling back, that's it. Stretching forwards into the heels. And then we're going to come a little bit further forwards and what we call hugging the swing. So wrap the arms around the straps, bend your knees as much as you need to, and drop yourself forwards into the Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Keep pushing into the straps with the feet. So don't sort of let the legs go to sleep. Keep using the legs, but let the weight of the arms relax onto the straps, and that will help to allow you to just fold forwards a bit more deeply if you relax your arms and shoulders. Okay, so we're going to release ourselves from this position, taking the straps off. That's it, taking the straps off. We're going to come down now and we're going to lower the swing. So you don't have to lower the handles. You could take your handles off, or we're going to leave them on, but you could take them off if you find they're getting in the way. We're going to lower the swing until it's just below your kneecap. So just below your kneecap. So you can measure that out, just below the kneecap. Remember that sometimes the swing has to be uneven. So to get it the right level for the exercises, you might find you have to have it slightly higher on one side than the other. So that looks good, just below Agni's kneecap. Now we're going to lie down to do the closing restorative section of the sequence. Okay, so we're going to do twists to begin with. We've got the ankles inside the swing. We're going to bend the knees until the knees are over your hips. Yeah? And then we're just going to drop the knees towards the right side of your body into a spinal twist. Yeah? And use the arms in a position that works to stabilize you. It could be out to the side of your body then. If you find when you're doing this position that your knees are separating, then you might want to try a milder version, which would be to pull have more of your lower leg inside the swing. We could just demonstrate that, Agni. So if you have more of your leg in, then you're not going to twist as deeply and your knees are going to stay together. Okay, so we're going to come and do the other side. When you twist to the other side, you might want to just shuffle your hips to the right. So in this case, shuffle the hips to the right as you twist to your left. And then, because when you're in the twisted position, ideally you're looking to have the shoulders and the hips in line. So the right shoulder, right hips in line. Yeah? Now, if you're in the twisting position and you feel as though you want a slightly deeper option, then you can take your top leg out, in this case your right leg, bring it across your body. Now you'll find that's a deeper twist and a deeper compression in your abdomen. So you've really got three options here when you're twisting. Okay, then we're going to come back. We're going to put both feet into the swing. Arms in a comfortable position. We're going to do some slow circling movements. So as we inhale, we go forwards. Yeah. As we exhale, we bring the knees towards us and across our body. Inhale forwards. Exhale across our body. So we're using the movement of the legs to help the breathing process. That's it. Exhale across, inhale forwards, exhale across. Now we're going to change directions. And then we're going to pause. Now we're going to transition into plow. You want to be careful with plow position. If you are protecting a neck, or if you find it uncomfortable as a position, you should obviously avoid doing this. So to come into it, you would shuffle forward. You shuffle forwards a good few inches, and then you try to kick your feet through the swing. So you lift up, kick your feet through. The swing should take hold of the knees or maybe the thighs. And then the swing helps to support the weight of the legs. You can place your arms in a comfortable position, the side of your body. Or some people might be able to comfortably interlace. If their shoulders are open enough, they might interlace and lift a little bit higher onto their shoulders. So as always, you're checking in with yourself, with your own experience, with the own quality of your breath. You're deciding whether or not to do these refinements like interlacing your hands. Now when you roll down, you're going to roll down and you're going to just hold, stay in Shavasana for a few breaths. That's it, let your body come down. So it's good to take a few breaths after a posture like that. You get a lot of pressure in the chest area from the weight of the digestive system pressing down to your lungs, your liver. And then we're going to just do another little round of circles again, so just a few in each direction of this circling movement. So changing directions, few in each direction. Again with the breath, exhaling as you come towards you, inhaling as you make space and move the legs away from you. And then the final position we're going to do is we're just going to have the lower legs suspended in the swing. So we're going to pull the swing down until it's right at the back, right at the top of the calf. We have the lower legs suspended, we've got the arms in a comfortable position. Just spend a little bit of time consciously letting go of the legs. So you don't need to, you're not using your own strength to hold the legs in this position. So you can really focus on where the swing holds your body, where the swing contacts your body. Because this is what's making your life easier. This support, this help, is all part of the pleasant feeling of doing aerial yoga. The swing helps you do everything with much greater ease and comfort. So focus on where you're being held and allow all of the muscles in the legs to relax. So from the calves right down through your thighs. See if you can feel the back of your hips, the back of your pelvis becoming heavier and more relaxed in this position as your legs are held for you. See if you can feel the back of your shoulders, your shoulder blades becoming heavier as well. So just allowing the arms and the shoulders to drop back. Notice whether you can allow the shoulders to open a bit more, whether you're holding around the top of your chest and just allowing the chest and the collarbones to open. So just feel as though you're giving the whole of your body back down to the earth. You're feeling the heaviness again. You're feeling a grounded sensation of heaviness in the body. And you're also more aware of your breathing in this more relaxed position with your legs supported. Your lower back can relax. The diaphragm, principal breathing muscle, can move more freely within you. So you might notice that your breathing is deeper, although slower. You know that it has a more natural, relaxed rhythm to it. So, if you've got time, you could spend longer in this position, but if you're doing this sequence to maybe get yourself going in the morning, then you might not want to spend too long here. You might just want to spend 2, 3, 4 minutes and then get on with things. So that is the more dynamic sequence that we've put together for you. I'm going to conclude that. Obviously, you can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can miss things out. Once you know what the sequence is, you can adapt it to your own time frame and your own needs, but hopefully that will make you feel quite refreshed and quite raise your energy levels. So good luck with that, and I hope you enjoy it.